all day. I'm connecting with you from the state of Utah in the United States, and it's almost 9 p.m. where I am. So I know for many of you it is the opposite time, it's the morning. So it's fun to connect globally, and it's fun to see all of your faces. Before I go over the agenda and we begin, there are just a couple additional things that I'd like you to consider today as we do this video conference together. Sometimes when 4 schools participate, it's more challenging to have a good dialogue. And so one of the things I would really like to work on today is your active listening skills. I'm sure your teachers have gone over the agenda and you probably have an idea of what you want to say, how you might want to answer those questions that have already been prepared. But if I could have you, in addition to maybe being anxious about speaking, if I could have you really be good listeners for the next 90 minutes. Really listen to what your classmates are saying. Listen to what your partner schools are saying. And when we have opportunities to ask each other questions or to dig a little bit deeper into some of the responses that have been given, that because you were listening, you will have an opportunity to ask a question that will help us understand each other a little bit more and dig a little bit deeper. So I'd really like to challenge you to really listen during the video conference today and to be thinking of questions that you might want to ask your peers, again in your own classroom or from one of your partner schools. So that would be really, really helpful as we delve into the questions today. A couple other reminders, you are on camera the whole time. And one of the things that's really important is your body language, that you are sitting respectfully, that you are not engaging in side conversations, that you are present, that you are listening. And even if you aren't speaking, because of the way you are portraying yourself through your body language, we know that you are being respectful and engaged in the video conference. Nanika reminded you to say your name when you begin speaking and to close with thank you. That just helps us identify who's speaking, and it helps us know when you are done as well. All right, let's go ahead and begin. I'd like to begin with the first question in the agenda, which is, what does faith look like? So I want you to think about that. In fact, I think I'd like to maybe even add a couple words to that definition of faith. What do values, beliefs, faith, what does that look like to you? So when you answer that prompt, I want you to really think about it. What does it look like to you? And I'd like you to tell us what it looks like and then explain that a little bit. We might not understand everything culturally or religiously that will be said, and that's why it's important to maybe expand or describe a little bit regarding these questions that we're going to talk about today. So what does faith look like? Let's go ahead and start with Baradi Public School, and then we'll go over to St. Monica's. Then we'll go to Indonesia, and we'll finish up with St. Andrews. If we could have around 4 students, that would be great. I don't want every student to respond because that will take too long, but around 4 students, so between 3 and 5, that would be really great. All right, let's go ahead and start with Bal Baradi. Thank you.
I would like to say that I'm Dhruv Gupta and I'm from class 9G. I'm glad and it's a pleasure to talking to you from from a foreign country. So I would like to say that faith isn't something that you can see. It's a pure belief that you have in yourself or somebody. As in my case, I have faith in my parents because in every stage of life, I believe they are with me. So in the end, I would like to say that faith isn't something that you can see or you can talk to. It's just a belief that you have. Thank you.
Good morning. My name is Palak Dhandi. I believe that faith is a feeling that is very important for us to live our lives because at certain points in our life, we require a belief that helps us to go on with our life. In my case, I have faith in myself and I know that whenever I have a problem, I have faith in myself that I can overcome it with determination. Thank you.
Hello, my name is Soumya Tyagi. I'm a student of ninth grade. I'm a student of ninth grade in Malbharti School. Uh, I have faith in myself because I believe that I have power to endure any failures and move forward in my life. And I think positively, and I think I can grow by that. Thank you.
Hello, my name is Arsh Bhatt. Hello, my name is Arsh Bhatt from class 9G. To me, faith is an indispensable part of anybody's life because it is what we fight with when everything is lost. I have faith in myself because only I can go above my own expectations and no one else can do it. I also do not believe in the viewpoint of critics because I think that if no statue has ever been erected in a critic's honor, so why pay heed to critics? Thank you.
All right, is that all from Balbarati? Thumbs up if that's all. All right, great. Great way to start off the video conference. I appreciate that. Let's go over to St. Monica's now. Thank you.
Hello, my name is Philip from SMC, and the things that I find most faith in is my friendships and the relationships that I make in my life and at school. And I believe that with the helping of our mates and our friends, we are able to overcome anything and everything. And I feel that caring is definitely one of the biggest parts of that, as we have to care and love each other so we can have the most amount of faith. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Jasmina. I believe that faith doesn't have a certain look to it, but to have faith in something or someone is very important as it focuses on you as a person and shows what you believe in and how that all describes you as a person. So to have faith is very important. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Sarah, and to me, faith can be many different things. So it can be from a religious perspective or from my own perspective. So from a religious perspective, my faith is my religion. So that would be Christianity or Catholicism, whereas my own perspective of faith would be friendship, family, love, caring for other people. Because that is my own faith, that is what I go by in life, and that is what keeps me going. Thank you. That's all from SMC.
Thank you. Let's now go over to our friends in Indonesia. Thank you.
Hello, my name is Fadil. I am from Dian Didaktika High School in Indonesia. Faith, to me, faith is not something visible, yet it's faith is a dedication to do dedication and believing in anything you want, founded by reason and found by themselves, by someone themselves, not because of someone else's words. And to me, faith isn't visible yet. We can see people's what people believe in their actions as a person. And to me, I believe in, well, in a religious standpoint, I believe in God, which is Allah in Islam, and I also believe in myself and also my friends. To me, other people is actually very very important too, because if not to, sometimes people see our actions better than others. All right, I think that is all. Thank you.
Hello, I'm Marcelo, and to me, faith is something that your spirits need. It's a spiritual bond that you cannot see, but you really need it, because without faith, you can't go on with your life. And it's really important to have faith, because without faith, you can't really have any reasons to live. That's all from me. Thank you.
Hello, my name is Nadia. I'm from Dian Didaktika Islamic High School. And I think faith is something you can see, but you can feel it. And I think everyone needs to have faith in something, whatever they believe in. But as long as they believe in something and have faith, I think that's what keeps us going in our life. Thank you. That's it for us. Thank you.
Thank you. I appreciate that. All right, and now to St. Andrews. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Jody, and to me, faith is something that can be seen because you can witness other people's faith. Like, for example, I'm religious, I'm a Christian, and when I go to church, I can see other people's faith in our similar religion. And it can also be something like you have faith in like your family members or the people around you. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Kennedy. I'm from St. Andrews Priory. And what faith looks like to me, I would have to agree with what many of you have said. Faith doesn't really have a physical form, I guess, but it's more so of a belief or a strong feeling which you have. But in my opinion, faith can not only go into the perspective of religion, it could even, a person could also have faith in philosophy, or again, as many of you have said, in family, and people sometimes in materialistic things. And though faith in itself may not have a physical form, when you do have that strong determination within yourself to have the belief in whatever it is that you have faith in, the results from your faith, the outcome of what you believe in, that I believe has like a physical form. So though faith may not be a physical form, your results within that strong determination has a physical form. Thank you.
Sorry. Hi, my name is Lilia. I'm a junior. And for me, faith is something that you can see because I show faith through encouragement, like by encouraging my friends that I believe in. So I have faith in them. So like kind of branching off of that, I have faith in my friends and family because they're always there to encourage me. So since they also have faith in me, I like reciprocate that relationship. And yeah, that's all. Thank you.
Do you have one more person? Is that all for us? I think that's all for us right now. Thank you.
Thank you. So I am really impressed with your responses. Many of you connected things that you have faith in or what faith looks like to a specific religion, to personal religious beliefs. But many of you also connected faith or beliefs or what you have faith or believe in to other things like friends and family, things that maybe are a little more secular. So it sounds like from your responses that faith isn't necessarily just limited to religion. So at the beginning of the video conference, I challenged you to be really engaged, active listeners. And I want to offer you a little bit of time to ask a question based on the topic we've been talking about, what faith looks like or what do you have faith in. Maybe somebody said something that you were interested in or you want to have them expand on it a little bit more. But think of a question that maybe you would like to ask your peers at your partner schools. So I'm just going to open it up to any school. If you have a question, just go ahead and move to the microphone. And if no one else is talking, go ahead and ask your question. And let's see if we can have a little bit of dialogue based on what we have heard regarding what faith looks like and things that you have shared that you have faith in. Thank you.
Hello, my name is Fadil from Indonesia again. Faith, we have faith in many different things, from religion, from people, from even materialistic things. I would like to ask, what is the one thing that you cannot lose faith in? What is the one thing that you cannot lose faith in? I think that is all from me. Thank you.
Great, that's an excellent question, and I'd like to let everybody think for a second about that. So what is the one thing in your life right now? So remember, you're only representing yourself in this video conference, that you cannot lose faith in personally for you, not what your parents say or your teachers. I'm a teacher, so I can say that. But you personally, what can you not lose faith in? All right, so think about that for a second, and then let's have a couple of students maybe at each school just answer as you feel comfortable. Just move up to the microphone and take a stab at that question. It's very good. Thank you.
Hello, my name is Yavi Jakhodia. I'm from India. I can't lose faith in myself because I believe that at any stage of my life, I will be with myself. And if there is no one with me, I will have faith in myself so I will overcome that problem easily. And if I will lose faith in myself, I won't be able to overcome anything. And eventually I'll be depressed and I won't be able to live. Thank you.
Hello, my name is Shubhra, and I cannot lose faith in my friends because friends are the ones which are there with you, and in your hard times they help you. Also, if you have any difficulty or something like that, they are the ones whom with you can share your feelings. Thank you.
Hello, my name is Sia Garg and I can't lose faith in my parents because they are with me every time in any situation I am, good or bad. They're happy in my good situations and they feel sad when I'm in tough situations and they help me to deal with that situation. They don't want me to be down. They always try me to be up in my life and they don't want to see me sad. Thank you.
Thank you. Those are excellent responses. Maybe one more response there from Balbarati, and then we'll see if some other students would like to as well. Thank you.
Yeah, I'm Arshbert again. My faith is in my passion, and my passion is writing. I can never lose faith in my passion because it is the very foundation of someone's life. Without it, there is no reason to live. And like a great man once said, passion is the genesis of the genius. Thank you.
Thank you. Excellent. Any other students that would like to respond at any of the other schools? And that includes students in Indonesia as well. Thank you.
Hi, my name's Agus. So for me, I'm never going to lose faith in my fellow man, so humanity and every other person in the world, because I feel like as a community that everyone sort of bands together and like works together to get things done and just help each other out. And yeah, that's it really. I feel like people just work together to keep faith regardless of religion and where you come from. Thanks.
Hi, I'm Jessica, and I think that I can never lose faith in myself because if you don't have faith in yourself, then you can't reach your goals, and you won't believe in yourself and be able to do things that you want to in the future. And you have to also have faith in those goals so that you actually believe that you can do it. Yeah. That's all from Simon.
Thank you. Great responses. I believe that St. Andrews maybe have a couple students that would like to respond. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Kira, and one thing I can't lose faith in is my family because they are always there for me and they are the ones who raised and shaped who I am today. Thank you.
My name is Anjali, and personally for me, the one thing that I can't lose faith in is myself, because although I might let myself down sometimes from my failure and mistakes, I can build back my faith and I can build my development as a character in my life right now. Thank you.
Wonderful. Any other students? Maybe a couple students from Indonesia that would like to answer this question? Thank you.
Hello, my name is Nigel from 11th grade, second social class. To me, I can lose faith in my choice because my choice is my life. You have only one life. If you have one life, you have to have faith in your choice. You cannot return it. Thank you.
Hello, my name is Elmo from 10th grade. The one thing I can't lose faith in is other people. We can't lose faith in other people because when we do, we lose trust in everyone else other than us. That is very depressing. I'm sorry. Thank you.
Thank you. Those answers were really interesting, and there were a few that you know, across the globe agreed on, but there were also some unique ones, and I really enjoyed that. That was a great question. Anybody else have a question while we're on the topic of faith, what it maybe looks like, or what you have to have faith in before we move on to the next part?
Hi, it's Jasmina again. My question is, do you believe that faith is everywhere you go, and what do you see faith in or don't see faith in? Thank you.
Thank you. Could you just ask that last part? So we heard, do you believe faith is everywhere you go, but what was that last part of your question? Thank you.
Sorry about that. The last part of my question was, and what places do you see or not see faith? Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Excellent question. Okay, so this question deals again with faith, and do you see faith everywhere you go, or do you not? So like, where do you see it maybe where you go in your life, and then maybe where do you not see it in your life? So again, a pretty deep question. So I'm going to give you a second to think about it, and then I'm going to open it up to whichever schools would like to answer that question. So do you see faith everywhere you go, or are there places where you don't really see it? So identifying places you see it and places you don't. And anyone can answer. Thank you.
Good morning. My name is Mrinalini, and I feel that I see faith everywhere. When I go to a temple, I see people praying to God. I see their faith in God, because the God is something that you cannot lose faith in. And there are people who pray to God for their well-being and for their family, for family and someone related to them. Thank you.
Good morning. My name is Raghav. I'm from Bal Bharti. I believe that faith is necessary, and everywhere where we go, there is faith, because without faith, faith is necessary for sustenance. Without faith, we won't have the will to move on and do anything in our life. So I believe faith is everywhere we go. Thank you.
Yes, hello, I'm Dhruv again. I would like to say that faith is everywhere. You just have to relate it to your life. It's in the past, it's in the future, it's everywhere, as in around the globe, it's everywhere. You have to relate it with your life. You just have to think enough about how can you relate it to life, because one has to think enough and critically so that he can relate it with his own life. That's all. Thank you.
Thank you. Oh, one more, and then we'll go to some other schools. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. My name is Arsh, and as I reckon, faith depends on perspective of the person. What he thinks, where he can find faith. Someone can find faith in a desert, and one can lose faith in his own family. So it completely depends on the person itself. Thank you.
Thank you. Excellent. Any other schools that would like to respond to this question? Go ahead. Thank you.
Hi, I'm Beverly. I'm in 11th grade. And for me, faith is everywhere, but there are times when people lose it, such as in hardships like war or natural disasters. And I think that's when our faith is tested the most. Thank you.
Hello, my name is Rafi. Faith is actually everywhere. For example, if me in my praying room is Moscow, I see faith that people want to close to God. In there, they're praying there. And simple example is school. In school,
he have faith. He want to be smart in there. I want to be someone there. I want to be something there, and maybe that's it. Thank you.
Great. Maybe one more student here. Go ahead. Thank you.
Hello, my name is Dian. For me, faith is everywhere. And contrary to my friend, I actually believe that there is faith in war or conflict places. For me personally, I don't believe that there's faith in politics or places involved with politics, because in our country, politics kind of messed up and the good are not really showing up. That's why I don't believe in politics. Thank you.
Thank you, and thank you for being brave enough to have a different opinion than a classmate. That's just fine, and that's why we're here to learn different opinions. As I'm sure you know, and I'm sure our friends in Hawaii there know, the United States is in the midst of an election, and I know what you say about politics. Sometimes it's a little messy, isn't it? All right, let's go over to, I think our friends at St. Andrews have some students ready to respond, so thank you.
Hi, my name is Catherine, and I believe that faith is everywhere because I think that everyone has to have faith in something, whether it be their family, their friends, or God even. And I think that everyone should have a faith, but not necessarily.
Hi, my name is Hypatia, and like Catherine, I also believe that faith is everywhere you go within yourself, and faith is just something that determines your actions and something that your decisions are always based off of. Thank you.
Great, thank you. St. Andrews, did you also have a student that had a question? Yes. All right, go ahead and ask that. Thank you.
I have a question for the hi, my name is Anjali, and I had a question for the Indonesia school. You said that without faith in religion, you don't have a reason to live, and I was just wondering why you believe that faith in religion gives you that specific reason and want to live. Thank you.
Thank you. So maybe we could have a student respond to that at Dian Didaktika. I'm trying to say it correctly. I might have said it wrong. Thank you.
Hello, I'm Hadian again. You say that some of my friends says that we should just die. Basically, we should just die if we don't have something to believe in or have faith on something. Maybe it's because that from our birth or from our elementary school or maybe preschool, because most of us Indonesian believes in one religion, and that's Islam. And there's a lot, but not that much of other religion. So the way I see it is because we perceive that from the start, and we don't have any other way of thinking. For me, it's a yes or it's more than a yes or no. It can affect me personally. Depends on the situation. That's all. Thank you.
Hi, I'm Beverly. So I'm on a study abroad program here. So as an outsider looking in, this is an Islamic school. And for them, religion is a lot of the basis of what they stand for. And for them, it's where their faith is strongest because that's what they've grown up believing. You see prayer throughout 5 times a day, every day. And for them, it's really what stands out. So thank you.
Great. One more response. Thank you.
Hello, my name is Isan. But faith without religion is like, what is religion? What is our faith on our hearts about it? Well, my religion is Islam, yes. So Islam basically meaning is let go of your life, to dedicate your life to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So without this, you cannot easily pray easily. But what is your point of praying without the let it go of your dedicated to your life about it? So what the problem is in Indonesia? Yes, we can say it's an Islamic country, but we just win about quantity, not quality. That's all. Thank you.
Thank you. I think that we have had a really insightful discussion about what faith looks like and what you have faith in, and you guys did an excellent job on coming up with questions. Very, very good. I'm very pleased. So let's move to the second part of our agenda. I'm kind of watching the clock and want to make sure that we hit the main topics. And this is actually flows really well based on the question that was just asked and the responses that were just given. So the students in Indonesia were talking about how because Islam plays such a role in their lives, that it becomes, linked to faith and purpose for, existence. So I want to look at that, but I want to make it a little more general, make it a little bit broader, so that it doesn't only include religion, although it definitely can. I want you to think how your community shapes your identity. So let me say that in a different way. How does your community, that can be where you live, it can be your school, but how does your community shape who you are? Okay, who you are as a person. So when you answer this, I would like you to tell me how it shapes you, but then also explain it. So I might say, because I live in the state of Utah in the United States, and I live by beautiful mountains, I might say that my community, the geography of my community has shaped me to be someone that loves the outdoors. I love to camp, I love to ski, I love to hike. So I've identified how it shaped me, then I've explained it a little bit. Okay, because again, we need to kind of understand each other. So an explanation is helpful. Again, your responses can be religious, they can be secular, they just need to be honest. So think about your community and how does it shape who you are. All right, so this time I would like to go in reverse order. Let's start with St. Andrews, and then we will go to Dian Didaktika Senior High, and then St. Monica's, and we will end with Balbardi Public School. All right, over to St. Andrews, and let's have, again, maybe 3 or 4 students give their responses. Thank you.
Hi, I'm Olivia. So in Hawaii, we have a very diverse community. There are people with ethnicities from all over the world, and I think there's such a huge blend of everything. So growing up, I went to many different festivals. I like Japanese, Okinawan festivals, something that if I were to live somewhere else, I would definitely not go to. How my community has shaped me. We live in Hawaii. It's paradise. So we like in Utah, we do a lot of outdoor things. I love swimming and going in the water, and that's just something I like to do all the time. So hopefully I'll be able to do that later in my life. Thank you.
Hello, my name is Jody, and my community has shaped me in the sense of where our community is very positive. And in Hawaii, we have a word called aloha, which means it's a very friendly greeting, meaning hello and goodbye, but it's also just a overall really friendly greeting. And it just shows how positive our community really is. And like how my friend Olivia said, is that like since we're so diverse, we can like get to know all these different cultures by like different festivals that are hosted each year. It helps me to really understand all the different backgrounds of different people. And also I learn of different like other people from my religious community and from my church, of the other like people, to see how their religion impacts their lives and to get to see like how they see the world, and it really helps broaden my perspective of different people. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Madison. Like my friends Jody and Olivia said, I also really enjoy doing things outdoors and also learning about other people's cultures and why they believe in what they believe in, because we're so diverse and I meet new people that are from many different backgrounds every day, and that really helps me to...
Excuse me. Yes. Sorry to interrupt, but can you repeat again? It's not audible. And also, can you speak a little bit more clear? Sorry to interrupt.
Hi, my name is Madison. Like my friends Jody and Olivia said,
You know, Madison, I think if you actually moved a little closer to the microphone, I think that your other friends were a little closer, so I think we could hear a little better. Sorry. Thank you.
like my friend said, I like to do many things outdoors and like learning about other people's cultures and why they believe in what they believe in. And because we're so diverse, I think it's easier for me to understand people better because I meet people from different backgrounds almost every day. And yeah, thank you.
Hi again, my name is Kennedy, and in my opinion, each person has multiple communities. Yeah, for example, like say church or even school, or if you're active in other clubs or organizations as well. But more specifically, I would say that the community in my school, with the girls in the room with myself, in my opinion, the community in my school, they're more of a second family to myself. Not only is it an all-girls school, but again, it's very, very tight. The women and the relationships that we share with each other impact my life on a very deep level. And because it's an all-girls school, we tend to empower one another. And I honestly feel that my community in my school impacts me in a very positive way. And it's because of not only the education, but the deep level of connections that we tend to make with each other, even outside of the classroom, that's what would make my community important to myself. Thank you.
Thank you. Great start to this question. Let's now go to our friends in Indonesia, and let's have 3 or 4 students answer the question. Again, how does your community shape who you are? Thank you.
Hello, I'm Rana and I'm in 12th grade right now. So I live in Indonesia, and Indonesia is a very, very positive community. Like, not only because of the most of population here are Muslims, and in Muslims we have this faith that thinks that whatever happens, it happens for a reason, and how bad no matter how bad is your life, there's always a way. But not just it's just a Muslim faith, but in Javanese culture, it's similar to Muslim faith. So that's why most of Indonesian are very positive, and they always think good, and they always think that there is a way. So it shapes me into a person that is positive, and I think there's not a day that I don't smile. That's it, I think. Thank you.
Hello, my name is Razaka from Indonesia. Well, in my community, mostly in my neighborhood, it's mostly non-Muslim communities. So I live in non-Muslim communities, so makes me a carefree person in terms of religion. So most of my friends in my house is non-Muslim. So in terms of like religion, they can eat pork. So they understand too that I can eat pork. I can't eat pork. So we mostly understand each other. So thank you. That's all. Thank you.
Hello, my name is Nico. I'm in 12th grade right now. So I would like to highlight the social aspect of my community. So in my community, and communities in Indonesia are actually very, very tight. So it is impossible that you don't know the person that is living next to you, or I mean, you would know everyone that lives in your community. And for that reason, it really encourages us to be involved in our community. For instance, we do help each other when they're in need, and it's just everything encourages us to be social. Just be social. Yeah. Thank you very much. That's all for me.
Okay, one last student before we move on. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Rehan, and for me, my community shaped myself to be really respectful and be kind to each other, because in my community, it contains a very diverse people. In Indonesia alone, we have many, many cultural differences, ethnicity, religion, and so, and as my mom always said, that if you want to be respected, you have to be respect to each other, to your friends and other people. So yeah, and here in Indonesia, we have a saying that even though we are different, diverse, we have to be still as one Indonesia, as united as one. I think that's all. Thank you.
Thank you. Excellent. Let's now go to St. Monica's.
Hello, my name is Stephanie, and I believe my school community shaped my identity as you're with teachers every day, and they are teaching you to become who you want to be when you're older, and they're encouraging you, and they're teaching you the stuff that you need to be prepared for when you're older, such as when you get to the point where you have to vote, or in future when you want to become a teacher or politician or anything really. They're teaching you to become who you want to be. They shape you for who you are. Thank you.
Hi, I'm Katrina. I believe that my family and my family community, because I have a huge extended family in this community, so they helped me develop my personality, and they allowed me to be free in discovering who I am. And yeah, thank you.
Yeah, and to make community is people around me, so my family, my friends in school. You know, the way that they shape me immensely. So from the things that I do to
I'm so sorry to interrupt you. Maybe speak a little bit louder and enunciate just a little bit more. Thank you.
My name is Matthew. No? Yes. Hi, my name is Matthew, and I believe that family, friends, and school has shaped me immensely to the way that I am, so that the things that I do and all the way to people that I behave towards. Yeah, thank you. And that's all from St. Martha's.
Thank you. It was much better that second time. All right, and now let's go to Balbardi Public School. Thank you.
Good morning. My name is Rohan, and I think my community has shaped me to be independent, to make my own choices and decisions, and not to be dependent on others for work. Thank you.
Hello, my name is Manya. I'm from India. My country is a very diverse country. People from mostly all the main religions across the world live here. So our community has different cultures. We are introduced to our religions at a very young age. I was very small when my family introduced me to my religion. In my school, our peers and our teachers, they teach us discipline, and I think I am what I am today because of my family and my school. Thank you.
Hello, my name is Devanshi Dharia, and I believe that my community shapes me in a way that I think positive. I interact with different people around me as I live in a country that is rich in culture with people, and I believe my community shapes me in a way that I believe in unity in diversity. I respect each other's religion as my community teaches me to perform equality. Thank you.
Hello, I am Sia. As my classmates told, our country is a diverse country. As we have so many religions, we are told from a young age to respect every religion. There is no religion as inferior, and we are secular country, and we have to respect all the religions, and that is how I have set my mindset, and I don't see any religion as bad, and I think everyone is equal. Thank you.
Thank you. Your responses have been really good and insightful for this last question. How does your community shape your identity? I wonder if, as you've sat and you've listened to your partner schools kind of give their responses and share what they think, if maybe a question has come to mind. As I was listening, I noticed that some of you were really good at identifying what aspects of your community shape you, like culture, school, family, friends, but some of you forgot to explain how they shape your identity. Some of you did a better job with that. Some of you said, you know, it's made you be more independent, or it's helped you respect unity or diversity, or it's helped you kind of shape your values and your political views. So there was a mix of both. But as we've been talking about this, I just wonder if maybe a question has come to mind regarding how a community could shape someone. Okay, so I'm just going to kind of open it up again to see if anybody has a question before we move on. If you do, just go ahead and move to the speaking chair and ask your question. Thank you.
Hello, I'm Hadian. So on communities, the action that I want to ask is that how does your communities makes you, what action does it force you, or maybe give you option to take, or like things like that, the way you think, the way you take chances, hearing people's opinion, or like respecting the others. There's something here.
Okay, so let me just clarify before you, well, okay, that's okay. I'll clarify with you sitting there. You are asking your peers to identify ways that their community helps them, and then you listed a whole bunch of things. Do you think you could maybe just pick one or two to kind of narrow it down for me? That would be helpful. Thank you.
So I guess if you want to, one is I guess how your communities makes you perceive something, see as it is, or maybe there is something behind to it. That is all. Thank you.
Okay, so if I heard you right, maybe how does your community make you appreciate things but also maybe not appreciate things? Kind of either or? Is that what you're thinking? Thumbs up if that's close enough. Okay. All right. Sounds good. So we're presenting this to anybody. Maybe think about your community. And I actually like the direction this question is going because everybody, of course, always shares really positive things about their community. You know, no one wants to get up and say, you know, my community, you know, there's crime, or in my community, sometimes people don't get along. But it's okay to talk about those things. This is a safe place where we can. So maybe let's take this question and look at it as, how does your community make you appreciate things, but also maybe makes you aware of other things that maybe you aren't as appreciative of, that maybe you would like to change. Okay, so if you would like to respond to this question, just go ahead and move to the speaking chair. It looks like some students at St. Andrews are already ready to do that. So we'll go over to St. Andrews first. Thank you.
Hi, I'm Olivia. So in Hawaii, we have a large homeless problem. There are many people. If you were to walk, our school is in downtown Honolulu, and if you were to walk downtown to get food or something, you'd see many people on the street because they have no place to go. We live in the most expensive state in Hawaii, so it really makes you appreciate that you have somewhere to go at night, and that you have food, and that you have a supportive family. So I myself like to, if there's anything that I can do to help support them, sometimes if we see them on the street, we'll give them food or money just so that they can start heading towards a better path. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Jody, and to add on what my friend Olivia said is, since we do live in the most expensive state, it's really hard for some families to make enough money to put on, like, to give their children food. And for me, I live in downtown Honolulu, so that's where all the homeless people are. So when I walk to and from school, I see all these people on the streets, and it kind of pains me to see all of them, like, just, you know, lying there with all, like, their belongings, but no real proper place to put them all, and they just carry it around with them all the time. And it makes me feel really blessed that I actually have a house to go to that's actually in walking distance to my school, and I actually feel like pretty safe just getting to and from school. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Sydney, and besides homelessness, I'm actually appreciative of how accepted our community is of religions and many different things. Therefore, if I have a thought or a contribution, then I know it will be accepted. So, thank you.
Excellent. Do any other schools have something that they would like to share based on this question? It's a good question. So how does your community make you maybe appreciate some things, but also maybe aware of other things? Thank you.
Hi, my name is Stephanie, and thanks for the question. And I'd like to say one bad thing, well, there's many bad things, but this is one bad thing that is happening in Australia, is racism. I know I'm a very big supporter of AFL, which is the Australian-wide sport, and there's been a lot of racism and controversy about racism lately in these past couple of years, because there's been some incidents about Aboriginal players and frankly just normal general Australian players. So to fix it, I personally think that racism should just be demolished, and that's just one thing that I believe. But yeah, it's a massive problem that goes on. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Alex, and a big issue I see in my community is poverty. So in the city, walking around, you see a lot of people like on the streets, they're begging and whatnot. But a good thing is that also in our community, we do a lot to help them. We collect different items and products and we give them to them. We give them these products when they need it. And our school at the moment, we're creating like a Christmas hamper, and each class will bring a bunch of different items and then we present them to people who need it. Thank you. And that's all from St. Monica.
Thank you. Any other students before we move on to the next part of our agenda?
Hi, I'm Beverly. So as a study abroader, I've been able to see the perspective that others see of Americans, and it's really allowed me to see how, in some ways, the U.S. doesn't see the world, and they're very caught up in their own drama. And so it's really allowed me, being in this different culture, to see some of the flaws that I was a part of, and being able to take a step back has allowed me to really see them. Thank you.
Thank you. I think that one of the neat things about traveling or doing study abroad is exactly what you said, to kind of see another country's perspective. And I've always felt like it was a really educational, empowering experience. So thank you for sharing that. All right, we still have a couple items on the agenda that I want to get to, and we're entering the last half hour. So I think what I'd like to focus on is transitioning a little bit from the community back into things that you value in your community. So I want to talk a little bit about festivals. So what festivals are important to your community? I want to make it general. And the way that I would like you to focus on this is a little bit different. I would like you to choose as a class one festival that you are going to share with your peers. So you have to work together. Now don't start yet because there's a couple more qualifications. So one, pick the festival. It can be secular, it can be religious, it doesn't matter. It just has to be one that is important to your community. Then I'd like you to say what the festival is, and then this is the tricky part. I want you to try to explain it. There are a lot of things that we do in my community that are festivals that if I tried to just really quickly explain it to you, you would think, what is she talking about? So I really want you to think about, how can I explain this festival to my partner schools so that they will understand, one, what it is, and two, Why is it important to your community? Okay, so there's a couple parts to this. One, you have to pick a festival together as a class. Then you need to pick a couple kids, students, to be your spokespeople. Okay, and one student needs to maybe explain what the festival is. So that includes, you know, how do you celebrate the festival? What do you do? What kind of activities do you participate in? You know, do you have certain traditions associated with that festival? And then maybe another student could explain why it's important to your community. Like why your community values that festival, why you celebrate it. So I'm going to give you a little time to think about this with your class and to get everything organized so that you feel comfortable to present. So I'm going to give you about 4 minutes, okay, to pick your festival, to talk about it, to pick some people that are going to be able to explain it, and then to explain why it's important to your community. Okay, so 4 minutes, and I'll come back on and then I'll explain the order that we'll share. Thank you. So about 30 seconds, okay? 30 seconds left. Bell Barty, I think your microphone is unmuted. If you want to mute that back, that would be probably good.
Good morning. My name is Mrinalini.
Starting yet, honey. Just wait, okay? Thank you. No, we're not starting yet. So you can sit down. I'll go ahead and give the order. And then when it's your turn, you are more than welcome to speak. I just want to make sure all the schools are ready before we begin. Thank you, though. Okay, let's go ahead and begin. I would like to start with St. Monica's this time, and then let's go to St. Andrew's. Then we will go to Bell Barty Public School, and then we will end with Dian Didaktika Senior High. All right, let's go ahead and start with St. Monica's. Thank you.
Yeah. Hi, my name is Brooklyn, and we chose Anzac Day. Anzac Day is about, it was about the war, and we give the recognition towards the people who were in that war, and we acknowledge them.
Okay, I'm going to need a little more than that. We need to know what war, and we need to know how you acknowledge them. So maybe you can help me out. Thank you.
So as you know, we chose Anzac Day as
as our festival. And the reason why we did this, the significance of this was because of the diggers who first fought in the World War One, World War Two, and then from that, all of our rest of our soldiers and the military personnel that fought in the upcoming wars, including the ones that are currently happening. And yeah, so we're just acknowledging the men who fell during those battles and the making of the Australian identity. Thank you.
Great. Would someone be willing to explain the traditions that you do? Thank you.
Hi, I'm Sarah. Ways that we celebrate Anzac Day is the Anzac March, which is when people in the divisions, they go into the divisions and we march, and people who are still alive go into their divisions and hold the flag, of the Australian flag, to show that they represented this part in this part of the war and stuff. And also a way that we also celebrate Anzac Day is by eating Anzac cookies, which is something that mothers and children would make and send. It was like a delicacy to send to the men in the war because their rations were very bad and food was scarce. So, yeah, thank you.
All right. Has everyone shared at St. Monica's that wants to regarding this festival, or are we going to? Okay, thank you.
Hi, my name is Stephanie again, and another thing about Anzac Day is we have a AFL football match, which is considered one of the biggest matches besides the actual grand final. And it starts off by both teams lining up, and we have a minute of silence where the end song is played, and then the game commences. So thank you. That's all from St. Monica.
Thank you. Good job. Sorry that I jumped the gun a little bit there. You guys had it all planned out. So I apologize for that. Let's go over to St. Andrews for their festival. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Felisa, and we chose the festival May Day, which is celebrated in spring, and it's basically a celebration of, I guess, happiness and positivity through hula, which is a Hawaiian dance that involves telling stories through dance movements. Yeah, thank you.
Hi, my name is Liliana, and May Day is a Hawaiian cultural practice, and we usually dance hula to celebrate this tradition. Thank you.
So, hi, my name is Harmisha. So May Day is important to our community and very important to our school because for us, our entire school participates in this activity and we all...
Good morning. Sorry to interrupt, but can you please speak a little more clearly? It's not audible here. Thank you.
Yeah, I think the problems at St. Andrews is I think that just your laptop is picking up the sound and maybe not the microphone, but that's okay. It's manageable. Just talk a little louder than you normally would, and I think it'll be okay. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Hypatia. So May Day is very important to our community and our school because our entire school participates in this activity, which is very different from other schools. And so each grade will get all dressed up and we'll practice our dance and we'll chant and we'll dedicate our dance to an important person, to our school, and to our state. Yeah, thank you.
Awesome. Sounds very cool. All right, let's go to our next school and hear about their festival. All of these are really interesting. I'm learning a lot. Thank you.
Hello, I am Renalini and I am here to talk about the festival that we celebrate, Diwali. It is a festival that is celebrated in Indian mythology. Usually we celebrate it at the end of October and in the beginning of November. This year we are going to celebrate this festival on 30th of October. We celebrate this festival because of the winning of good over evil, where Lord Rama had killed Ravana because of him abducting his wife Sita. And we light up diyas and we have a show of fireworks. We pray to the God for the well-being of our family and our nation. And also we have a show of fireworks and we exchange gifts and we worship Goddess Lakshmi and Lord Ganesha. That's all I would like to say. Thank you.
Good morning, I'm Raghav. On this festival also we light diyas. They are like small pots and we have certain special sweets that we eat. There are also exchange of gifts, and in the morning we conduct pujas, which is like a worship, and we go to the temples and we conduct this worship. Thank you.
Hello, I am Aditi, and it signifies the return of Lord Rama along with his wife Sita and his brother Lakshmana after a long exile of 14 years. Thank you. Hello, I'm Vidhi Gupta, and I would like to say that Diwali is also called a festival of lights. It is so because on the day of Diwali, it was a new moon day, so it was very dark. But the people were very happy and they wanted to express their joyous feelings. So they lighted earthen lamps which gave light, and so we follow this tradition till date. Thank you.
Hello, I am Ahana.
Okay, last comment. Thank you.
I'm Ahana, and I would add that on this festival, we also make rangolis, which add up to the beauty of our houses. And it is a festival that brings happiness and prosperity because we celebrate it with our family. And that's all. Thank you.
Thank you. Well, that festival is just right around the corner. Have you guys been preparing for it? That's exciting. I've been to Indonesia, and actually in my home downstairs I have little figurines of Rama and Sita. So it made me happy to hear the story again. All right, let's go now to our friends in Indonesia to hear their festival. Thank you.
Hello, I'm Marcelo, and I'm from Dian Didaktika. Our pick is the Ramadan festival because it's commonly known, and it's actually a festival celebrated mainly by Muslims because on that month our sins are forgiven and our good deeds are multiplied. So in this month we do fasting. We don't eat from dawn to dusk, and that's all about the festival. And at the peak of Ramadan, we have Eid al-Fitri, which is, well, a national holiday in our country. Yeah, that's all for me. Thank you.
Hello, my name is Aubrey, and after Ramadan, we still have Eid al-Fitri, like my friend said, and mostly in Eid al-Fitri, well, in my family, mostly it's Muslim, so, and there is non-Muslim family too. So we're all gathered, like we spread the forgiveness, we spread the kindness, and in this month of Ramadan and Idul Fitri, it's like we're back to purity, and so we are like Thanksgiving and maybe in other countries. So basically it's a Muslim festival, but anyone can join, anyone could celebrate it with love and kindness. So that's all for me. Thank you. Hi, I'm Rana. One thing that is so special about Idul Fitri is the foods that everyone celebrates after we fast for 1 month. There's the most iconic food. It's called ketupat. So it's a rice, but we kind of shape it into a diagonal shape. Diamond shape. And then we have opor ayam. It's chicken with chicken curry. It's like chicken curry, and it's very delicious. And yeah, basically everyone loves eating Idul Fitri traditional food. Muslims are not Muslims are very welcome. So yeah, we share happiness with you too. Thank you.
Thank you. When I was in Indonesia, I was there during Ramadan, actually, and I lost 10 pounds of weight because I just didn't eat as much, and it was summer, and I was sweating a lot, and I was hot, and it was a neat experience. So everyone was very kind and very, very welcoming. And I apologize when I mentioned to Balbardi that I have the statues of Rama and Sita. I meant India and not Indonesia, so I apologize for that. Okay, well, we are coming upon the very end of our video conference, and I do want to take just a few minutes and give you some time to reflect. So I'd like you to think about 3 questions that I'm going to ask and kind of think about them, and then maybe you could just pick just one person to share your group's collective response to these 3 questions. So the first question is, what did you learn today? You know, just think about it. What is something you learned today? You know, we've talked about faith, we've talked about community, we've talked about festivals. So what's something you learned? The second question is, what is something that surprised you today? So something that surprised you. And the third is, what do you wish, if we had more time to talk, that we could talk about? Something maybe we haven't talked about or that you would like to talk a little bit more about. So I'm going to give you 1 minute to talk together as a class, to answer those 3 questions, and then please just pick one spokesperson, and then I will come back on and I'll tell you the order that we will go through the reflection responses, and then we'll end our video conference at the end. So you have 1 minute. Thank you. All right, let's go ahead and start. Choose your one spokesperson for your class. And this is the order I'd like to go through. Let's start with Dian Didaktika, Senior High, then we'll go to Balbardi, then St. Andrews, and we'll end with St. Monica's. All right, let's start with our friends in Indonesia. Thank you.
Okay, so my name is Nico. I'm from Dian Didaktika Senior High School. I'm a 12th grader. And I would like to answer the first question, which is, what did we learn today? So I think that we all learned that faith is faith is the thing that everyone has. So without faith, it is very, very hard for us to continue our life, because with faith we can actually do our best, because we know the goals, we know what we believe in. And okay, that's it for the first question. Now I would like to answer the second. So the second was what surprised me the most about this discussion. So first of all, I'm really surprised by the similarities that we all have. I mean, we're like halfway around the world. So, I mean, we're so apart. I mean, very, very far apart. But what I really learned is that we have so many similarities in our traditions, and how we actually see everything is very, very similar. And I think that is really good. That really is the thing that can unite us as like the world. We can do much. I mean, we can do so many good things together if we share those similarities. And the third question was, if we have more time. So I would like to answer the third one. So if we have more time, well, actually, I would like to know more about the traditions, because I would like to know more about all of you. I mean, like, I would like to know more about your point of view, about what you really believe in. I mean, there's so many things that I mean, I'm so freaking out right now. I am so sorry. I'm freaking out. So yeah, I mean, the point is that I really want to know more about people from around the world. Yeah, that's it from me. Thank you very much for listening.
You did a good job. We know that one speaks English as their first language, and you all are doing a fabulous job that are speaking English as a second language. So you did just fine. All right, let's go to Balbardi now. Thank you.
I think we have learned today that we have to be, first of all, my name is Rohan, and I think we have learned today that we have to be a good listener and a good communicator. We should listen first to other person and then react to it. The second question, what we have what has surprised us is that the festivals that Indonesia had celebrated and the traditions they have followed while celebrating it. It was quite surprising. And the third question, that what will we talk if we have more time? I think we should have talked about traditions and cultures about other countries and their lifestyles. Thank you.
Thank you very much. All right, let's go to St. Andrews now.
Hi, my name is Felisa, and we learned quite a bit today. We learned about everyone's traditions and different festivals and what they mean to everyone. And one thing that surprised one of my classmates was how Indonesia was mostly Muslim. She didn't know that before. And we wish we could have talked more about how everyone plays different roles in our community, and also what your festivals mean to you personally. Thank you.
Thank you. And you probably could tell I have a Hawaiian quilt at the back of my room. I just feel so cultural with all of you today. That wasn't planned. I just noticed halfway through. So that's kind of fun. Okay, and let's now go to St. Monica's.
Hi, from all St. Monica's, we'd like to thank you today for being our adjudicator duties. So thank you, and all the teachers and students who took the time out of their day to be with us here today. One thing that surprised me was that faith just doesn't have to be a physical thing. It can be like a spiritual bond, or not even something that you can see. Something that surprised me was that faith is very strong in some of your communities and is the center of your faith. One thing that I hope that I would like to know one day is what strives you to continue with that faith, and what brought you to that faith in the first place. And that's all from SMC. Thank you.
Thank you so much. I just have to say, you four schools are very suited to each other. It's very rare, and Fadi maybe at St. Monica's might agree, that you have four schools participating in a video conference and it kind of goes as smoothly as it does and people are able to ask questions. So I would recommend maybe booking another video conference in the future with as many of the same schools in this video conference as you can, and maybe specifically talk more about traditions and cultures and the influence of faith and how people come to those decisions. I think you guys would be prepared, and it would be a really good video conference. I just want to thank you guys for being prepared, for being respectful, for listening, for answering the questions, for asking questions. It was a really wonderful video conference, and I like to end all my video conferences by thanking the teachers, students, of course, Global Generation, and then to have you unmute your microphones and to say goodbye now as friends. So have a great rest of your day, and goodbye, everybody.
Bye. Bye, people. Bye.